I'd like to talk to you about a topic that you'd probably be surprised that I'm talking to you about. I'm talking about feminism and the good parts about it. No, don't turn it off yet, especially if you're conservative, because I too have never called myself a feminist. But that's because that term has been hijacked by the media and everyone that's like twisted it so beyond recognition that it either makes you, burn your bra and say, yeah, I'm a feminist, or run away from it because we think it's something bad. But being a feminist in its truest form, it means acknowledging the beauty of the feminine. It means allowing women to be women and allowing, here's the key part, allowing men to treat us as the beautiful women that we are. It means, can we find it in our strength to actually let a man open the door for us? Let a man carry something for us? Let a man do anything that would make life easier for us. I know that I grew up in the 80s, and I'm not a bra-burning liberal from the 70s or 60s, but I do remember the cultural message being sent to me that was like, I can do it, and thinking that would make me attractive to men. So funny, because I did find it when I looked around, it was the opposite. The girls who were a little bit more feminine were very attractive to guys. And I'm not saying I wasn't attractive, but not like the girls who were truly feminine. I was like priding myself on my strength and I could arm wrestle you, and I can do anything a guy can do. All right, so there's nothing wrong with those things. But I'm talking about, let's really put feminism in its place. What is the feminine? Because there is strength in femininity. It is not just weakness. It is not weakness at all. It is this complementary part to the maximum. So here's the problem. Very few men feel comfortable even offering to help a woman do anything anymore. And they're afraid that they're going to get slammed down, they're going to be insulted, or worse yet, we fear that their help will make us look like we can't do it ourselves, because we've been brainwashed to believe that we're supposed to be independent, and we never rely on the help of a man anytime, anywhere, anyhow. So we've pushed away their attempts at helping us. And here's the funny thing, here's the great irony, especially in our marriages. Let's look at this. We actually complain when we have to do everything ourselves and men don't nearly do enough. Did you ever do that? You never help with the dishes, you never help with the kids, you never do this, you never do that. Well, guys kind of like, well, what am I supposed to do? You want to do it by yourself, you prove to me you're strong. And our men kind of back off like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say or do anymore. And yes, so this video is kind of like, I want to teach men to lean in, but my real purpose of this video is to teach you women to allow your men to lean in, to tell them it's actually okay if you lead me. Okay, there we go, censorship, right? We've been trained to believe that masculinity is toxic. This is a bunch of BS. It's stymieing our reciprocal giving and taking between the sexes. That is nothing toxic about a man wanting to help a woman. There is great strength. And what I'm going to say for you men is really going to make you stronger. And because of where we are in society, it's like this gentle pushback saying, you know what? You are still beautiful. You are still strong, but I want to help you. And allow a woman to say, I'm going to show you that receiving help from me is not a bad thing. And if we look at it, we realize it's beautiful, it's kind, and it's loving. It's exactly what we women want. So the ideas that we used to have in the 50s about a man should be strong and domineering, and the little lady should just be passive and take whatever he says, that's not the truth at all. There is a feminine genius. The man is the head, but the woman is the neck. The woman has this beautiful ability given to her by God to turn a man's head. But how on earth are we want to be the neck and we want to be the head, and we complain. So many women come to me and complain that their husbands won't lead. And yet these are the very women who get mad when he tries to make a decision. Oh, we say we want a man to lead. We say we want him to take charge. But then we get angry when he makes a decision different than the one we would make? Think about it. What if that were you? You make all the decisions. You're like, I'm going to tell you to do this, do that. And we do. Some of us just override our men. It's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the kids in Catholic school, whether you like it or not. I am going to buy this thing, whether you want us to do it or not. I'm going to choose where we're going on vacation because you won't. And the men kind of just back off. And then we get upset that they've backed off. So I've worked with some couples who are like, I want my husband to lead. He never leads. He's supposed to be the spiritual leader. And in the very next sentences, there was a time that we did A, B, and C, and I said, tell me what we should do. Lead our family. You need to go and do this you need to go tell our son-in-law this. And I'm going to be so mad if you don't tell our son-in-law this. So which is it? Do you really want him to lead, or you only want him to lead if he does the things you tell him he's supposed to do? Can't have it both ways, ladies. Now, if you let your husband lead, is he going to make mistakes? Yeah. But so do you. So do we. And God didn't make it so that we are the heads of the household. It doesn't make it so men should make decisions on their own. A good husband takes the input of his wife. They talk together, they rationalize together. Here's why this decision might work. Here's why I think this decision would work. And where you're at an impasse, that decision falls on your husband. And trust me, I've been there. I don't like it. I don't like when Danny makes a decision that I don't like. But you know what? I'm culpable to God for did I or did I not respect Danny's decisions. And if Danny makes a decision out of selfishness or anger or just because he wanted to have power, then he has to answer to God. He's going to make mistakes, but men are going to make so many less mistakes if you allow them the ability to at least make decisions. Pull back, ladies. At the place that we are in society now, men aren't just going to lean in unless we back off, unless we say, look, I'm going to let you make these decisions. I'm sorry that I've kind of taken over when I shouldn't. It's been pushed on us as well. But you want to teach them how to lead. And for many of us, it's going to be hard if we're starting in the middle of our marriage. If you've been married 10 or 15 years and you're watching this video, and you're like, how do I do that now? Easy way to start, though, would be with our young men, mothers of sons. I want you mothers of sons to teach them how to lean in and lovingly take charge. Lovingly lead their wives, lead their girlfriends. You're not going to teach your sons to be domineering because you're their moms. You wouldn't want anyone to dominate you. So you moms can do a really good job. And I will probably do a future video, unless it just all comes blurted out right now, about how being a good mother-in-law means backing off and letting our sons make their wives the first woman in their life instead of us. That's hard too, because we're used to being the number one woman in their life. But teaching your son that it's not only acceptable to help women, to help the woman in his life, with anything they may need help with, even when the woman could clearly do the task herself. Tell him, lean in, help her. But also tell him that it's preferable, it's appreciated, and encourage him to be a little bit more assertive than the females in his life are allowing him to be. It's like, you know what? I know you say not. This is because I just want to help you. Slowly, if we're teaching our men how to be men, our young boys, and they're growing up into strong, chivalrous, masculine men, and we're teaching our daughters how to back off, it does not mean she's not a strong woman. But it does mean that we're reordering things the way God wanted us to. So I'm sorry if we are all getting mad at men for not leading. this is on you, ladies, because right now the power in society, society is trying to say all this white male superiority, supremacy, garbage. But really, women have power in this feminist-dominated society right now because men are shutting up because they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. To give him back his power, give him back his headship. And when he makes a bad decision, do not throw it in his face like, I could have done it. See, I could have told you. You encourage him. You say, you know what? It's okay. I mean, I've made mistakes too. You let him see that you're not going to jump down his throat when he makes a bad decision. But like, all right, well, here's what we can do next time. Because you darn well know that when you make decisions and you screw it up, you don't want him throwing it in your face. And God didn't make you the head of the household. So I know I'm going to get some attacks from them who say I'm trying to demean women. No, I don't care. I no longer care. I just want to do what God has us do. If God says my husband's my head, then I'll default because, boy, does that take a lot of pressure off of me. And I'm just doing my best to be respectful of his headship, be respectful of the man he is, flaws and all, kind of like my super couples do. And then we work to be a better team. And one last thing, when you allow your man to lead, he is more likely to ask for your input. It's beautiful, beautiful way that God made it.